Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Garden of Sports basketball episode 10 or 11, I guess, if you include the trade. But yeah, I'm your host, Jake, and this, alongside my brother, Zach Gardner.
Hello, hello.
And today we're going to go over Week 10 prep for fantasy, Week 9 recap, trade targets, and all your key scoops as well. And I also added a drop section because I feel like sometimes people aren't realizing these players aren't performing well enough to hold. So, a couple of guys to go over there. But let's jump in since we have a lot of injury news and storylines. A lot is going on, and not just in NBA, but in hockey as well. So,
Let's
surprises
do it.
of the week. Yeah, surprises of the week. Kevin Durant, before COVID protocols, 66.7 average. So that's without James Harden. So, not that Harden won't be out, the rest of the year or anything, but that's just to show you what he can do when he's on his own, and that's just not obviously a normal average for fantasy points league. So that's pretty crazy.
That's insane. Holy crap.
Cade Cunningham, the rookie, 46.9 average, going off, and obviously that's a surprise. That's like first round, if you could maintain that all year numbers. So Kemba Walker last night, first game back, 39.7 fantasy points. He went off, and then after the game, he said he knows he should be playing. So that'll be an interesting storyline.
Definitely.
We'll see what they do with him. I mean, he's kind of right, though. They need the scoring.
I might go pick him up.
I grabbed him already.
Well, of course he did.
Well, he was if I would have been mad if I didn't grab him after I drafted him.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotcha. I didn't realize you dropped him.
I dropped him because he wasn't playing, because he's not hurt, but the coach announced he's not playing, so then you can't move him to out. So anybody owned Kemba, it was horrible. You couldn't do shit. You kind of had to drop him unless you had a good enough team to run it. But
yeah,
one of our biggest grabs last week was Saddiq Bey, and he's proving why that was. He broke out. He's had two beast games in a row. So
you called it.
Yeah, I mean, well, the only guy in the way, the high usage guy, is gone. So, and this is the talent, man.
Jake Nostradamus Gardner, everybody.
Well, okay, so I told you to grab Saddiq Bey, but then one of the other guys I told people to grab is a drop. So we'll go over that.
All right, well.
And is Chuma Okeke breaking out?
Pump the brakes, everybody, on calling him Nostradamus. Pump the brakes on that.
I mean, Saddiq Bey was a more important grab.
I'm just messing with you. That's
what. Okay, Simon's had upside. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's go into Okeke.
So he is breaking out. I mean, he had a beast game. Wendell Carter Jr., the starting power forward, is out, and he left on a wheelchair.
Oh,
the game he left for his leg, and now they're saying it's not as bad as they thought. But I assume he's out at least a minimum 2 weeks, if not a month.
Yeah, my God.
I mean, this guy could steal the starting role if he keeps going off, so we'll talk about him more later. But let's go into top storyline, Zach, shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
So there's rumors spreading around. I know you saw this in the group chat.
Oh, yeah.
Westbrook being traded. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that, why not at this point? The Lakers are kind of they're between a rock and a hard place, right?
Yeah, now so those rumors were going around, but this was before the Anthony Davis injury, where now Anthony Davis is out at least a month with a strained MCL.
So do you honestly think that maybe Westbrook is going to be going off now, that he's kind of like the only guy?
Him and LeBron, but they both aren't outside shooters, so...
But do you think tough. Westbrook's going to get more triple-doubles now that Anthony Davis isn't getting all the rebounds?
Oh, his fantasy stats will improve. That's for sure.
But the team maybe not still, though.
They're still going to be grinding out wins if they get wins, basically.
Okay.
They're not going to be beating you by 20. It's going to be by 5.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be a hard season fought for them. I think, this is my prediction, they're trying to trade Westbrook for Lillard. Originally in the offseason, Lillard told them, he had a meeting with LeBron and stuff, and he told them that he wanted to stay with Portland. Now all this bullcrap has happened with Portland. They hired this coach, Chauncey Billups, who he's got a lot of respect around the league as a former player, but he's not a great coach. the team is struggling in Portland. It's kind of falling apart. I could see maybe Lillard, regrets his decision and he wants the trade now.
Okay.
And LeBron's first option that he wanted was Lillard, not Westbrook.
Well, yeah, I think
So,
that would be anybody's first option at this point.
yeah, dude. So let's see how Lillard. I mean, I know he loves the city and he's wanted to be there, but he has called out a lot of bullcrap that's been happening. So we'll see. But anyway, even bigger storyline: will COVID shut down the league for a week or so?
I could see it, honestly.
Me too. I feel like they should just maybe shut it down. I mean, if 10 more, I bet if 10 more players were added to, like, starting caliber players were added to the COVID list, they would. Because it's already above 60 league round, and that includes, like, bench players, guys that might not be playing as much.
Yeah, but the NHL is up to like about 100 players, and they're not talking about shutting down the whole league. So I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe basketball will try and make it work, but basketball and the
Well, I hope
NHL
they don't.
are run differently. So maybe basketball would shut it down if it got to 100 players.
Yeah, but in hockey you have more subs, right? You know what I mean? Like there's 3 lines,
yeah,
and
I think there is a few more players on a hockey team. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a certain amount on a basketball team, and you're screwed.
Right. So maybe basketball would.
I mean, last night, yeah, there was like a total for 2 teams playing. There was only a total of 15 players available.
Oh my gosh.
So like they're close. That's what I mean. Or they would at least cancel those 2 teams games, like they canceled the Bulls 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they don't shut down. It might just be like what they did with the Bulls. They'll shut a team down for a couple games. And
yeah, they might do that. I think they'll at least do that for sure.
But DeMar DeRozan's out of COVID
yeah,
protocols.
he's
That's
gonna
good.
play today, huh?
Yeah, several guys.
Is Levine back?
No. They said they don't expect him back till after Christmas. So
Okay.
out another week. But I wanted to go over, this brings up a point, how to manage a league with COVID. So maybe people haven't played basketball before, fantasy basketball, and they're scrambling. And yeah, we kind of ran into this last year. So I think these are the couple of rules that I would play by. 3 IR spots minimum, if not 4. Yes, that can cause guys to stash players, and they'll have a better chance to stash, but it's going to happen anyway. Even
the overall mental
2.
health of all your managers in your league will be a lot better with 3 or 4 IR spots.
Yeah, and you don't want a disgruntled league because then it's just not going to happen again. You want to keep a league going,
especially if you're in a paid league. I feel like you have to do that.
Oh yeah. And then another rule you could do if it got really bad is you can increase the stream options per week, like the amount. So right now, I think most leagues are around like 7 players a week, so you can stream a guy a day technically. But you could increase it to like 9 or something if just people keep getting COVID. And then
or you could just keep it at 5 like we have. I'm just kidding.
We only have 5? Okay, yeah, we have 5. My Yahoo league has 7. But I don't run that league. And then another rule to go by, though, is you can't just drop quality players. And I even mean guys averaging 25 or above. You can't just drop them, man, because then you're going to screw yourself in the long run. Like,
right.
COVID's going to happen. There's a couple teams in our main paid league right now that are basically taking the L because of COVID this week. And you just got to take the L. It sucks. And it happens because, like, yeah, I mean, the guy, or Aaron Morrison, I think he's our number 1 team. He's gotten hit so hard through these COVID designations that he's taken a huge L this week. But it is, but he didn't drop anybody. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't just give up players. So don't give up quality to try to win a week.
Yep. That's
all right. Let's break into injury news.
Do it.
So these are the players that entered the health and safety protocols in the last week And I only wrote down like the most notable fantasy players because obviously there's probably a bit more than this. But here we go: Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox, Zach LaVine, Evan Mobley, Mo Bamba, Bobby Portis, Jordan Poole, Al Horford, Terrence Ross, LaMarcus Aldridge, Pascal Siakam, and Davion Mitchell. So, yeah, obviously this has hit a lot of fantasy teams. Let's break into regular injuries, though. Trae Young, sore ankles day to day. So keep an eye on that, because he's obviously a small little dude. Steph Curry, so like 6 players didn't travel to, what is it? Toronto for their game there. So that's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, it's strange.
Right after Canada says they won't let anybody in without COVID, what do you call it? Vaccination cards. Yeah.
Okay.
So that makes you think. That makes you think how many players are like faking the COVID card.
Just reading the tea leaves here.
Yeah, and Jordan Poole actually did have COVID, but no, Steph Curry and like Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, all didn't, and they're not going. And if you remember, Wiggins was one of the guys who said he wasn't going to get vaccinated in the beginning of the season, and then he said he was. So I don't know what happened there. Conspiracy theory here, tinfoil hat, but you know what I mean. So yeah, Steph Curry.
Yep.
Anthony Davis, knee. This is the biggest injury. Suffered a sprained MCL and will miss at least a month.
Wow.
Huge hit to the Lakers because that's their anchor, big man they could pass to. So yeah, that kills.
Yeah.
Paul George elbow. He's been out about a week, so that's a little scary. Keep an eye on that. Hopefully this doesn't turn into something more. But until then, you can stream Luke Kennard and Terrence Mann. Luka Doncic ankle missed 3rd and 4th straight game, or will miss over the weekend. So there's that. Malcolm Brogdon Achilles, sore right Achilles. So
that scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, I do not like that kind of sore right Achilles. It's so specific. I
remember Kevin Durant had that, and then he missed almost 2 years.
Yeah, don't say that, bro. Maybe you should try to trade him, bro. Maybe you should try to trade him.
This will be like that year that I had a bad feeling about Oladipo, and then right when I got the trade through, he like tore his knee.
You traded him away?
A couple years ago.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and then right after I traded him and the trade went through, like literally the first game the guy had him, he twisted his knee and was out for the whole year.
Wow. He hasn't been the same since that injury, actually.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter Jr., lower leg. We were talking about him earlier. He left in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
So, you were thinking automatically it was season ending. Now they're saying it's just a strain. So we have to wait for more details on that.
Yeah. The wheelchair definitely scares you, but sometimes just a really bad strain, it just you can't walk, but it a couple days later it's a little better, but yeah.
Joel Embiid ankle questionable for Sunday. Draymond Green right hip tightness is missing that Toronto game Sunday. Tyrese Maxey quadriceps questionable for Sunday. CJ McCollum lung. So this is an update.
Yep.
Making progress and will be reevaluated next week. So that could be sooner than expected.
Positive news.
Andrew Wiggins knee soreness won't play Sunday. Jimmy Butler back is out Sunday. I'm starting to get worried about Jimmy because he was out like over like a week and a half. Then he came back for one game and then he's been out like a week now. So I don't know, man. He's just been banged up most of the season now. Tyler Hero quadriceps questionable for Sunday. Devin Booker hamstring was a full participant at practice Saturday, so he'll be back very soon.
Good.
He's been out about 2 weeks, so
yeah,
that'll be nice for owners. Chris Middleton knee hyperextended it and will miss 3rd straight game.
Damn.
His 3rd straight game. Rashawn Holmes' eye is questionable for Sunday.
Okay.
So he just got poked in the eye and he's been out like a week. So Anyway, that's the injury news.
Injury news.
Let's break into the true fantasy talk here, though. Let's go over trade targets.
Trade targets.
Oh my god. So, buy low. I'm only including this name because I just really want anyone to be able to get this guy, but he's already started breaking out. Karis LeVert. He's already heating up, so it's going to cost you a little more, but I feel like he's a must grab. I mean, we just said Malcolm Brogdon sore Achilles.
Question.
And then, what?
Would you trade Malcolm Brogdon for LeVert?
No.
No?
Brogdon's been way too good.
Okay. Well,
it's really hard.
If you're worried about the Achilles news.
If you're that worried, then yes.
Okay.
But
well, you're saying I could get something better than LeVert then. That's all I was really wanting to know.
Yeah, get something better.
You think I could?
Yes. I mean, he's near 40 average.
Okay.
That's insane. Most people don't average that. Yeah.
Especially he wasn't like a top 5 round pick this year also.
Mm-hmm. Well, at this point in the year, where you drafted people doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, I figured when I got him in like the 6th or 7th round, but that he was a steal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, try to get Karis LeVert, man, if you can. Because the team, there's the Malcolm Brogdon, but there's also the team is talking about trading everybody away, blowing it up, and LeVert could be one of the only guys left, and then he's just a beast the rest of the way.
The Bulls should get Domantas Sabonis then.
Dude, he isn't, I was just reading something, his...
Per minutes, he's insane. I was doing the same research over the last, couple seasons. He's one of the best players per 60,
minute.
right?
I think it's his win percentage or his plus minus or something is off the charts. It's
he's
up there with LeBron James and I think he's top 3 in that.
Yeah, that's crazy. We can carry on with trades.
Yeah, Montrezl Harrell, very bad week and a half. He's, they love Gafford, and Gafford's the starter. But Montrezl Harrell should still be better than this. He's had seriously really bad. His average is down to 28 or 27 in points leagues.
I think the bloom is off the rose with him. I think his best days are behind him.
Yeah, and he was drafted as a top 50 guy.
Yeah.
Sucks. He did start hot, so he's proven me wrong, but now he's proven me right. But still, that doesn't mean he's not a buy low. He's better than this. And maybe you could get him for cheap.
Okay.
Jared Allen, he came back down to earth in the past week, but the 2 weeks previous he was going off. So I would try and get him. He kind of does this where he will go off and then back down a little bit, but his floor is not that bad. It's pretty good. His floor is 30. That's bad nights. So
right.
I would still try to trade for him.
Especially you want to get. I think at this point you want to try and get some starters from Cleveland. They're just playing so well together. You kind of want to get some of those guys, I feel like,
Yeah, that's what they're the 3rd seed in the East. And because of this rookie could be rookie of the year, I think it puts them, I'm not saying they're not going to win anything, but they could be, it's hard for me to say they're going to finish top 4, but they could.
And then they have the unicorn off the bench. Lauri Markkanen.
Unicorn. Oh my god. Yeah, no, they just have a really good core, and they're young and they're hungry. So
second round of the playoffs. Second round of the playoffs this year. Bulls versus Cavaliers. Lauri Markkanen.
Cavs are winning a round.
Lauri Markkanen hits the game-winning 3 over the Bulls in Game 7.
I don't think the Cavs are winning a round. But...
I'm just saying, wouldn't that be something? Markkanen beats the Bull.
I mean, that'd be. If we saw them in the second round, it'd be an easy win.
Probably, yeah.
Westbrook, with Anthony Davis out, he's a buy low because he could get more usage. We know how good he is as a fantasy player.
Wouldn't that be a buy low when you think Westbrook's? Wouldn't Westbrook owners know that he's probably going to do better?
Oh yeah, but it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
Try to get him.
I feel like that would be pretty hard still to do.
Yeah, but we still got to talk about it.
Okay.
Just talk about guys who could blow up,
Yeah.
You try to get him. Devonte Graham finally finding rhythm, and it looks like he could just be the the point guard the rest of the way.
Well, he can hit a 200-foot shot, so.
Okay.
Did you see that game-winning shot that he made from, like, the other side of the court?
Jeez, I think I did, yeah.
I think he found his rhythm.
This is my biggest buy low. And this is where buy lows for people are hard, is when a player's doing pretty dang bad and you just don't see any upside in their future, so it's hard for you to want to go trade for him. But I think Robert Williams, he had a bad start to the season, but he's supposed to be the main future big man there in Boston.
And with him doing so bad, he's still the starter, right?
Yeah, I think, Al Horford's starting next. I think they're both starting. But
okay.
Still, I think Robert Williams is the future.
As long as he's still getting minutes.
His average is only like 26 in points leagues.
As long as he's still getting the minutes, I definitely think he could turn it around.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with him, but he should. I think he could figure it out, and you could get this guy really cheap right now.
Okay. I'm going to put that on my list for sure, because I do like Robert Williams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I already brought it up to the owner in our buy-in league, and there's no budge yet, but we were talking a bigger trade. He was like a second piece. Mm-hmm. Terry Rozier, he returned from the COVID list, and he's starting off slow, so maybe you could try to swing in and grab him in a trade, because right before he entered the COVID list, he was going off. Truly scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
Yeah, man. I mean, he rose his average to 32.
Okay.
So it's going to be harder to get this guy, but I would still try to get him.
Okay.
Spencer Dinwiddie, I'm going to keep bringing him up. Could be where I die, the cliff I die on.
I think it's a good hill to die on. This Dinwiddie's been great historically, so.
Yeah, man, he's just got to be better than this, and he said this might be his worst week yet. So
this is the week to get him for sure, because he'll probably turn it around.
Yeah, man, you got to go grab this guy and trade like just a guy that you picked up recently that's going off, See if you can get that through. And another wizard that's doing really bad, for a week, Kyle Kuzma, 3 bad games in a row. I don't know what happened, man. I think this one I'm a little more worried about because Bradley Beal was not shooting the ball enough and doing his normal thing, and now he is. Like, he's coming back to form.
Okay.
And so that kind of worries me about Kyle Kuzma, because Kuzma was putting up shots before that, and I don't know, that could have something to do with this last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still think he's a buy low because of how he started the season, around a 30 average. Now he's under that. I think he could still get back above that, so he's a buy low.
Okay. Well, maybe somebody cast a spell on him.
Oh my god. OG Anunoby just returned from injury. This is a guy, 34 average in a points league, and he's on a fighting team that puts up a lot of stats, because I don't think they play super great defense. But
okay.
I would try to get him, because he just returned and he had just like a mediocre game, because he's probably in a minutes limit.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can snag this guy.
Help me, OG Anunoby. You're my only hope.
Oh my god. And then I wanted to talk about being like a cutthroat fantasy sports player. Any player right now in the COVID protocols who could be out 10 plus days, who's a good player and like a team needs wins now, I would try to kind of steal a player from him in a trade.
I think could be easy to do, because I was looking through some of the other less fortunate league managers in our leagues, and some guys have like 8 players that are out, and they would probably definitely be willing to make a trade.
Yeah, it really
probably easier
to get the morals
of
it, but I'm not saying steal their whole team. I'm saying try to grab one guy and still give them a return.
Oh yeah, you still got to make it a fair trade, of course. But I think you will
try to get the value.
This is probably a week where more trades maybe would go through than in a normal week.
Yeah. So try to get some of the guys from the COVID list. Like, do a 2-for-1. Try to get the star. You trade for the 1.
Yeah.
But I digress. Yusuf Nurkic. He's had a few inconsistent weeks. He could be
Sounds
like I
like
said,
his career.
Portland. No, he's had some stud years before, but Portland could blow it up, and he could be a guy that is a starting center on a better team, or he's just one of the only guys left here, and he'll get more usage.
Mm-hmm.
So I think most likely it's a win-win to grab this guy. And I think he could be better than this 30 average he has right now. I think he could be around 35.
Okay.
So I would try to trade for him if you need a big man. Yeah, let's break into sell highs. So I'm still going to talk about these two Hornets players. So everybody is back now for the Hornets because they got the COVID before every other team now. Kind of hit them first. So it could be, their fault. But anyway, Kelly Oubre, he's already come back down to earth in the 2 games that Scary Terry's been back and then LaMelo's first game back. See if he could still get anything for him, man. Otherwise, he's just going to end up being a drop in a week or so.
Yeah.
So I would still try to snag a guy that's around his same average right now because his average is inflated because of the players being out.
Right.
So if you get a guy with the same average right now, I mean, he's going to be better in the next week. And then Gordon Hayward, he was one of the guys going off, put himself as near a top 5 small forward in the time the other players were out of the team, and he was playing heavy minutes. I think he's the guy who's going to take some of the most hits. I mean, he's still going to be around a 30 average. He's still a good player to have. But try to get a guy who's around what he's at now and try to get some value return, like some higher value, a higher % used player on a different team. Because right now he's like the 4th best player or 3rd best player at best on the Hornets.
Yeah.
Try and get a 1 or 2 on another team. And then Cade Cunningham, I wanted to talk about the rookie. Like we said, 46.9 average in the last 7. I would try to get a more proven player that's been established.
Maybe you could trade him for Bradley Beal or something.
Not anymore, because now Bradley's finding his stride. I don't know if you could shoot that high necessarily, but I think you should still try to trade him because he's gonna have these really good weeks like this, and I think he's also gonna have really bad weeks because he's a rookie. It's a young and gunning team. He's a rookie. He's gonna be up and down, even though he is maybe the best rookie. It's hard to tell this year though. But
there's a lot of good rookies this year, more than I remember.
Yeah, there's five studs.
This was a good class.
Yeah. Brandon Ingram, 47.7 average. I mean, no one expects him to maintain this insane. He's had an insane 2-week run, really.
Yeah.
I would see what you can get.
You don't think that he can maintain it though? Everybody talks about him like he's,
He can't maintain near 50.
Maybe superstar guy.
No, I'm not talking about he's falling off a cliff. I'm talking about he's going to be around a 40 on the season. Right now he's playing well above that.
Okay.
He's playing near a 50 average.
Mm-hmm.
So I would see if you can get a more high quality, consistent player because we know Brandon Ingram started really slow.
Right. Okay, I see.
But so it's just this isn't like a you have to trade kind of guy. It's see if you can get increased value. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you just keep holding them and you still feel good about it.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson has increased his average with Doncic out. And I think you should try to trade him. I mean, he was probably a grab for you. He wasn't drafted. Yeah. And he had a couple hot weeks in the beginning of the season. That's why he was grabbed. And now he's kind of doing that again. I would try to capitalize on it so you don't have to worry about him being a bench player the rest of the year and try to get a starter caliber player. But yeah, Zach, do you have any other trade guys you want to talk about?
No, not particularly. I'm just really this week I haven't had a lot of time to focus on trades. I've just been trying to survive.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I haven't really been hit by it. I've been lucky as hell.
It's the Wild West out here in our 12-team league, let me tell you.
It is though. There's nobody available. Zach grabbed one of the guys that was a key grab. It was only a 2%, 1% owned player, and Damn.
That's what we're picking from everybody listening. Our 12-team league. It's probably the most competitive fantasy league of all the sports that we do. This basketball league. It's crazy and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you want to stream a guy, you're looking at a bunch of like 5% owned or less guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's definitely different than like how people
in
are
the 10
actually owned.
in the 10-team league, I can go stream Jay Sean Tate, but in the 12-team league, I'm picking up Chuma Okiki.
Yeah, dude, in the 10-team league, you can go grab McCall Bridges and Keldon Johnson and PJ Washington.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's a bunch of really good available players.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's break into scoops though.
Scoops them ups.
So like 5 or 6 of these guys we've already talked about, but we got to keep talking about them until they're more owned. And I wanted to go over players around 50% owned that should be 90% owned. This is insane to me. So I just want to talk about them. I'll keep talking about them. Franz Wagner, 32 average in the last week, but he's like a 28 average anyway on the year. He's been Orlando's, I think he's their best player, but I mean, Wendell Carter and Mo Bamba I don't think contribute to the winning as much, and you could argue Cole Anthony. I don't think he's like a winning basketball player though. He just puts up some numbers. I think Wagner is their best guy, and he's the rookie.
Franz Wagner?
Yeah, he's only like 52% owned or something.
Wow, yeah. That's
so
a go and check.
This is a must-own guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a go and check. If he's there, you got to pick him up.
Yeah, and then Sadiq Bey, also around 50% owned. He's breaking out, like we said, for Detroit. He's a must-grab, like maybe even more so than Wagner, because Detroit's even more barren than Orlando. But both of them, I mean, imagine being in a league and you can grab both these guys.
Wow.
Desmond Bain, this is another one. Have you not grabbed? You have to grab him for the Grizzlies, man. He's like one of the main scorers now. He just looks like he belongs in the NBA. Gotta grab him.
Basketball player by day, terrorizing Gotham City by night.
And then oh my god, this guy we've been talking about since the draft days.
Since the pre-draft, you were like, yeah, Josh Giddey, he could do something. And then, lo and behold, he's doing something.
Yeah, he's only 45% owned.
That's a crime.
Basically a 30 average in points leagues, and he's the number 2 guy there. He's the team is so void of talent.
The volume is there for him. I mean, he's definitely worth a own for sure. He should be way higher than that. He should be double that.
He's a must own, and now Oklahoma City's playing better basketball, which means his stats will increase.
Yeah, of course, because he's a facilitator.
Yeah, the past 2 games he's put up 40 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah, and get him on your teams. He's most likely available in your league, 45%.
Yeah. So we've talked about those 4 before. Now let's break into a couple other guys. Some of them we've still talked about, but I'm going to throw them in. Patty Mills, 32.5 average in the last week, so he's heating up. And also the stars are out with COVID, James Harden and Kevin Durant now. So I think he's a great stream for Christmas week and could help you get a win.
I've streamed him before.
Yeah, Kyle Anderson, 31.3 average in the last 7. If anybody played fantasy basketball last year, he was basically owned everywhere because he averaged 30 for the whole year. He just kind of kept going. He wasn't like a high upside or whatever. It was just he stayed at the floor, and I think he could do it for at least another week. I mean, or at least until John Morant's back, he could keep this up.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverley, any league that values defensive stats, he's a must grab. 30.8 average in the last 7. And on the year, he's a 25 average, so he should have been owned before, but he's really not that owned, and I think is a great grab.
Yep. And he also helps up the refs when they fall over on the court.
Oh my god. What, does he knock them over?
No. There was a video going around of a ref that fell over as he was backpedaling, and Patrick Beverley went over and helped him up. And he's still dribbling. It was kind of funny.
Huh.
It was kind of cool.
Jared
Normally
Vanderbilt.
he's an asshole.
Yeah, he sucks. But fantasy, grab him.
Yeah.
Jared Vanderbilt, another guy we've talked about. He's been on our graphics too. He's still barely owned, and this is like a great floor guy. He's going to be
Yeah.
around between 25 and 30 fantasy points all year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like a great grab for your bench. I mean, maybe he's not grabbable in a 10-team league, but 12-team at least.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
he's a guy that has 40-point upside at the end of your bench. So why not?
Yeah, probably with injury he does, but he's a starter and he's the fourth best player on the Timberwolves. I think it's a great grab.
Especially this week, though. I mean, Anthony Edwards is out now, so that moves him up to the third option, right?
Yeah, no, he'll get increased usage for sure. D'Anthony Melton, we've talked about him for a month now, just basically since Ja Morant went down. He's been a grab player. I mean, he's had a couple of definitely dud games. That's why he's only like 10% owned, but this is a great player to stream, and the team's playing good basketball. So
there you go.
Another great grab. This is the guy that Zach grabbed that was only 1% owned. Chuma Okeke. Breakout game, like 56 fantasy points. Wendell Carter Jr. is out, I think, for minimum 2 weeks, if not
Bamba's
longer.
out too.
Yeah, well, Bamba's out with COVID, so he should be back sooner. But Okeke's a must grab at this point with the upside. The second half of last year, he was like a must grab, and it probably helped you win your fantasy league. And we knew he could play from that, so bare minimum watch list, but I would grab him 12-team league minimum. Robert Covington maybe has something left. I thought he was kind of done. He was really bad to start the year. He's probably been dropped most places. But 28.6 average in the last 7. Portland is a team seems to be starting to play better finally. Basically because Damian Lillard is back to form. He's was out for about 2 weeks with his abdomen issue, and he's come back on fire. So I think that's helping the whole team. And Covington's putting up his kind of stats where he's an all-around player. He's not like a double-double guy. He's a 2 steals, 2 blocks, 6 assists, 8 points, 7 rebounds kind of player. Like that's the kind of numbers he puts up. But that can give you good value in a league that values defense. Another one we talked about before, dude. Dorian Finney-Smith, 28.1 average in the last 7. I think he's the third best player there and on that team that's struggling in Dallas because you got Doncic, you got Porzingis. Both of them get injured all the time. Finney-Smith's their starting power forward, and he looks like a really good floor player. He's similar to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Like they're very similar, but this guy's got more room for usage because this team isn't as stacked as like Minnesota. So he's a great grab to have at the bottom of your bench. And I mean, on the year, he's already a 22 average, so it's not like he was ever bad.
Yeah.
He's just been kind of low floor. Kind of around that area the whole time. And then Monte Morris might be becoming the true point guard for the Nuggets, finally. He's been talked about for years in fantasy circles. And he never really broke out. Like he had a couple, maybe he broke out 1 week here, 1 week there, and they would just come back down to earth. And yeah, they've needed a point guard this whole time. I know I told you about a guy to stream, Zach. That's the other point guard there, but I think Monte Morris is the key grab.
Okay.
29.6 average in the last 7. I think it's a great addition to your team, and he's finally finding his potential again. We'll see if it lasts or if like he has another mental roadblock. I don't know, but
yeah,
I like him as a grab.
There you go.
Yeah, and then you have any other scoops, Zach?
Yeah, I was wondering about Isaac Okoro. Is he somebody worth maybe putting on your watch list or something? Because he was doing good before he was out.
The team is so stacked. Like we said, they have such a good core in Cleveland. It's hard for me to say like, oh, you got to hold this guy. because he's at best he's their fifth option. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's hard for I put him on your watch list for sure.
Okay. Well,
put anybody on your watch list you think has the
because
potential.
I did stream him and he did well for me last week, and then when he was out, I put him on my IR spot. So do you think that's worth it?
Not if you need to put another player on your IR.
Okay.
Like you do.
So he's the drop he's the droppable guy then.
Yes.
So don't drop CJ McCollum, drop Okoro.
Yes. I mean, I just couldn't believe the question. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a joke. Don't worry. I know basketball. Yeah. I know basketball, guys. I know basketball.
I just lost brain cells for sure. That reminds me though, we didn't update. There's Zion news. He's going to be out another 5 to 6 weeks. So
hell yeah, dude. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. No, droppable players. And Fernie Simmons, I thought he was a grab because I thought he was going to be the starting shooting guard, or he still might be, next to Damian Lillard in place of CJ McCollum, and then he hasn't done shit.
Wow.
He's had 1 or 2 good games in the past week and a half, so he's a drop.
Okay.
And because, especially with the news about CJ McCollum might be back soon, so that kind of that changes everything. And
yeah,
until they blow up the team, there's no point in having Simons.
Okay.
And then Chris Daughtry, God,
Chris Daughtry.
Oh my gosh, keep on your watch list. He was the rookie for the Pacers. He had a really good start to the year. Then he wasn't used as much. But I think he's a must grab if the team does trade away everybody. He'll have an extremely high usage, probably for points leagues above 30 average. Yeah, you gotta put him on the watch list minimum, but he's a drop right now because he's not the guy they're trying to shop. Does that make sense? They're shopping their 5 starters, or at least 4 of them, and they're giving them heavy minutes until they could trade them, I think. So this would be the guy that fills in when they're traded away.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then that's all I have for the drop list this week. That'll probably increase week to week because I'll check more detailed on the teams and everything.
Yeah,
but
I like the drops list. It's a good idea. I like that. Something new, something different, something fresh.
Yeah, fresh for sure. What other concerns do you have, Zach?
So I brought up Isaac Okoro already. I have another one though that I'm concerned about. What the hell is going on with that Nickeil Alexander-Walker, dude?
I think he's a bust.
Fuck.
I thought he could pick it up, and I especially thought he could pick it up because I thought Zion was coming back sooner.
Yeah.
And he would be lobbing to Zion, but Zion keeps getting set back.
And it's still not easy because he's right in that in-between where you're like, geez, it's not great numbers, but they're not, terrible.
Yeah, no, everybody, fantasy basketball guys thought he was a steal because the opportunity was there. He was going to be a starter, and he had a lot of guys to play next to that are really good, so he could improve.
And there was good tape. He had good tape out there,
Yeah, but now I think they're finally giving up on him a bit. They're going. I think they're going to Devonte Graham as the route now.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Alexander Walker is near a drop. I'm not going to say. No, you know what? You could in a 10-team league, you could drop Walker for sure.
Okay.
12-team,
especially in our 12-team league that feels like a 20-team league. I think I'm still going to hold him, but.
Yeah, but if you had dropped Alexander Walker and Okiki was the guy you grabbed, I wouldn't have blamed you. You know what I mean? Because you're grabbing upside where Walker has had the chance for upside and he hasn't done shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he could be a drop in a lot of fantasy formats. 14-team league hold for sure. Yeah, any other concerns?
No, not particularly. Those are my main ones. I'm just, concerned about looking at my ragtag group in that 12-team league, but everybody's got a ragtag group in that league.
No, my team's Studley.
Well, okay, just me then. I'll just wallow in my misery.
No,
just Eeyore over
trade
here.
Trade one of your stars for 2 players.
Okay, well, maybe I'll take a look.
If you need depth.
Yeah. So what are the good and bad schedules? Hit the people up with the info.
Yeah, it's Christmas week, so it's going to be harder to stream because of the scheduling. But 2-game weeks that you don't want to stream, these teams, Hornets, Cavs, Timberwolves, Trailblazers. I mean, unless you're streaming them for 1 game, but then it's, I don't know. I hate the 1-game stream sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be a waste of a move if they really bust on that one day. So
right.
So this week, usually you stream Tuesday, Thursday, but this week nobody's playing Thursday or Friday. Wait, nobody's playing Thursday for some reason. That's Christmas Eve, right?
No, Friday's Christmas Eve. Saturday's Christmas.
No, they're Thursday. Okay, this is why. Sorry, I'm mixing up my scheduling here in my head. Gotcha. Thursday's the day like every team is playing because everybody has Friday off.
Right.
So this week you need to stream like Monday, Wednesday, and then stream over the weekend. But if you can grab a player that's playing Monday and Wednesday, you're getting great value.
There you go.
So yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Is that curtains?
We gave you a lot of players you could stream for those days, and hopefully this helped out. There's a lot of good news this week, a lot of new stuff too. So hopefully this was helpful to all the fans, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. And, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below on all the little nuggets we're giving you. Let us know how we're doing. And then also, go follow us on our social media. We're getting that popping off these days. I mean, we got some good posts out there, everybody. But
sure.
Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Garden of Sports Podcast, Instagram.com/Garden of Sports, Twitter, twitter.com/GOSPod 2021. I know, a weird name, but you can also find the links to all these on our YouTube page. And just thank you so much for the support, everybody, as we continue to build our community. We love you all.
Yeah, thank you.